Hello, I'm Reverend Michael Mugford, and I'm part of the ministry team at Cole Harbour Woodside United Church, along with the Reverend Krista Elizabeth Wynn, and I'm pleased to offer this spiritual reflection today. So this week I was catching up on some of the e-blogs that I subscribe to but haven't gotten around to reading. One blog caught my eye for two reasons. First of all, it's from Nadia Bolz-Weber, whom I have referenced in these reflections before and whom I deeply admire and respect. And second is that it had the title splash from the History Channel program, Alone. Now, my spouse and I enjoy watching the various seasons of this particular program, even though I came to it later than she did. For those who don't watch it, it's a show about a number of people who are sent out into the wilderness to live alone, with nothing. Nothing but the items that they're allowed to take with them by the show. At camera equipment and sound equipment, they do all their own recording, much like we're doing here, as well their own survival knowledge and internal wits. And through each episode, they follow the survivalists, and each episode concludes with one tapping out. And the last one standing wins a large monetary prize. Now, there was a twist in this last season in that not only did the survivalists need to be the last one standing, but they also needed to stay for 100 days. And Nadia Bolz-Weber reminded me of the man who was the winner of this last season. And as I reflected back, he seemed so suited to being alone and in the wilderness. And at the end, she shares a quote from him. "In the dead silence," he said to the camera, "you can hear your departed mother singing a hymn in church from 30 years ago." End quote. He wasn't a churchgoer himself, but Bolz-Weber recognized the tune he was humming as being Standing on the Promises. That struck me because this last week, as I led worship, I couldn't remember what it was like to lead worship using the Zoom platform. It wasn't new. We've done it before. It's just been a while. I might not have been in the wilderness, but I certainly felt alone. Standing there in a back room of our house, looking at my phone on a tripod. I was standing behind a music stand with my tablet on it, leading worship, looking just at my phone as I'm doing here now. I was not comfortable. I didn't feel connected to the rest of the congregation, and I wasn't sure what I would do with the rest of the service. And then we came to the first hymn, "Let There Be Light." And the words connected to my memory and the tune connected to my heart. And so I sang along. I muted my mic and I shut off my video and I sang. And it felt good. It didn't drive away the weirdness of the experience, but it gave me something familiar. Nadia Bolz-Weber writes, "When he, the contestant from Alone, hummed those few notes, it was a confession of faith. Many of us may or may not intellectually assent to the same doctrinal and theological positions we were taught. But," she goes on, "the music that we made from our bodies, the vibrations of song created and shared in that communal expression is still ours." And she concludes by writing, "And I believe that the sentiment these hymns can evoke from within us, that is also faith. These days," she says, "my idea of what constitutes faith is ever expanding." I like to sing. I don't know if I'm any good or not, but I like it anyway. And there are hymns that speak to my soul and others that speak to my heart. But very special ones speak to both. A recent one that speaks to both is this. "Spirit, open my heart to the joy and pain of living. As you love, may I love in receiving and in giving. Spirit, open my heart." Peace.